Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem HaKadosh. Dominance to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Ruwa, and Shalom to the brothers doing the work of Syrian truth. Yeah, got this again because this is something that's been known since what was it? I think maybe 2019 they first started talking about, but after 2020 was kind of when it picked up, and these are the things that were kind of known that they were gonna come after post Brexit. Man, you were gonna see these impacts on a lot of industries in Britain where they're basically filled out by Europeans, and a lot of them are not gonna for the incentive to stay, partially because of what do you call it? Because of this thing going round, the lockdowns, Brexit, a variety of reasons. But now, it's being felt. So that's on Euronews. It says what devastating crops left to rot in England as Brexit begins to bite. It's shouldn't be a mystery.
We have got fruit which should have been harvested, is not going to be harvested for another 3 days.
For 33 years, Gerard Vonk has relied on seasonal pickers from Eastern Europe to harvest his peppers.
Look over here, plant, 100% red. More barriers, more red tape, much more difficulty to actually come and work over here. So yeah, that's been challenging, very challenging for our business, but undoubtedly for all other colleague businesses around this area.
Now the shortage of workers is so serious, this crop is over-ripening. There are 72 workers down on this time last year. Can this continue if this carries on like this?
Of course it cannot. So there's a lot of things have to happen. It's going to be a big loss for the business.
On the south coast of England, it's the largest farm of its kind in the UK. 10.5 hectares of greenhouses full of pepper plants, which ordinarily would be picked every 3 days. Currently, it's every 11. Did you suspect that this might happen?
I think that we thought taking the business...
Bruv, man said... that's like fucking 4 times less. Man said every 11 days. Bruv, that's... in this, this is how famines come down. Because these things... If the domestic market starts going to shit, then Britain's gonna have to import more, and Britain already imports a shitload of food, and that's assuming all things stay everything staying as is. Then it'll be possible. But then okay, if we have if we have issues happening around the world, issues happening in other countries where they're like, okay, we're gonna hold on to our food, we're not selling it, then it multiplies the scale to which this shit, ain't gonna be easy.
By surprise.
5 miles away, a field full of wasted courgettes. The fear for farms like this one is that British supermarkets will look to the EU to fill their empty shelves. On this one farm, there are 750,000 unpicked courgettes, 150 tons worth of vegetables that have simply been left to rot. That's because they can't get the staff. And if this continues, it will force farms like this one to make difficult decisions about their future.
It's been thrown on the ground and we haven't had staff to pack that, and customers have gone short.
Julian Marks has found this year problematic, as the pandemic and Brexit has made persuading European pickers to return virtually impossible.
Restricting free movement has had a devastating impact, but not just on horticulture or agriculture, on pretty much every sector.
Hello?
year problematic, as the pandemic and Brexit has made persuading European pickers to return virtually impossible.
Restricting free movement has had a devastating impact, but not just on horticulture or agriculture, on pretty much every sector where people from abroad have been working in those sectors for years, and now they're going home.
The British government announced a seasonal workers.
Yeah, there's all kind of, and that's the thing as well. That's the hilarity of you know the Brexit agreement not having free movement. It basically means there's so many people I know that they work like the fucking entire hospitality sector. That shit is just European workers, and for them to not have free movement, hella of them are just like, yo, now we're out. And it's not even, they might, like, a lot of the people that, like, have got into higher positions, they might be staying, they might have, you know, be able to get stay, they might be able to get certain things. But, like, when it comes to just, like, the ground level workers, them guys are, what do you call it? A lot of them are just gonna be like, fuck it, it's not even worth the hassle. And it's this is like as far as for the you know, the impact on the economy, bruv, it's hilarious, man. Man are really out here not knowing what the hell they're getting into. Anyone that worked in any of these fields, they would have known, like, they would have been like, yo, like 70-80% of the staff in this field is not English. Like, this thing's a wrap. I remember the berry picking. Yeah, I know I did a video about that forever ago, because they were saying, like, yeah, they said the majority of people that work here, they're Polish, they're Romanian, Eastern Europeans that come there, and then they get paid, and then they fuck off. So it's just like, now that's who the hell's gonna do that? Getting through customs is a fucking myth. Okay, so it's this fruit. I think it's just yeah, it's just all the things that he said. Okay, well, I think here it says some new shit. So it's a sentiment echoed by Mark Knight, technical crops manager at Tangmere Airfield Nurseries, the largest farm of its kind. He told Euronews the extent to which migrants had stayed away had taken him by surprise. The farm's general manager, Gerard Vonk, said that he'd relied on seasonal pickers from Eastern Europe for 33 years. Yeah, see, Eastern Europe, that's where they're getting them from. And that's the thing, bruv. You're not getting English, like, maybe you might get, I don't know, a few. But by and large, a lot of these industries, like, they've just gone to European workers, and British people ain't done that shit for the longest. It says, but since Brexit, there are more barriers, more red tape. Yeah, 72 real workers. But yeah, that's the birth. And this is the thing. Man said there's like fucking hundreds of thousands of plants just not getting picked. That shit's done. It was just the courgettes were just on the ground rotting. I'm like, bruh, this, you know, that's how famine's gonna pop off, man. Shit's gonna be easy, and it's wild. This is just one farm. That they said like it's the biggest. There'll be smaller ones as well. And the other impact is if they might have to pay more people. If they want to get British people, they might have to pay more to get staff in. And then after they start doing that, the price of the food's going to go up. And then people are going to feel it that way. It's peak. It's peak. Jeremiah 15:2, and it says, and it shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, whither shall we go forth? Then thou shalt say, thus saith the Most High Power, such as are for death to death, and such as are for the sword to sword, and such as are for famine to the famine, and such as are for captivity to captivity. And I will point over them, saith the Lord, I shall appoint over them 4 kinds, saith the Lord. The sword to slay, the dogs to tear, and the fowls of heaven and the beasts of earth to devour and destroy. Yeah. And basically, when it comes to judgment, look, it's that everyone's got their appointment, man. And famine's one of them appointments. You got those people that they're gonna starve, their belly's gonna be empty, they're gonna be turning into a skeleton, they're gonna be fading into and decomposing into the earth, man. Whilst they're whilst they're conscious, man. Because yeah, famine is one of those tools that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua utilizes when you know, delivering judgment on the earth. And hey, that's how people are gonna feel. You can see these things are leading up, man. This thing's a build up. People are like, this is not gonna is not gonna be something that's paid attention to by the vast majority of the general public. They're just gonna notice after a while. They're gonna be like, why am I my bell peppers suddenly so expensive? Why am I why are my courgettes costing like 3 times as much? Or why is there less in stock? All that kind of shit. And then it's just, oh, why are they getting imported from a different country? And you know, these it's only gonna be noticed after a while when it starts hitting that pocket. And that's going to be multiple industries, man. Multiple industries you're going to feel, especially in the UK, because of that Brexit. You're going to feel the burn, and then places as well where the lockdowns are hitting, where industry's been slowed by the C-19. It's going to get peak. Yeah, I'll leave it there. I say all praises to Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahshua, B'Hashem Kodash. That belongs to the apostles and elders, great millstone who rule well. Shalom, shalom.